Hi guys, I hope you're all doing well. Today we're going to be painting this beautiful, stunning masjid. I've started off with a pencil sketch first, just to make it less daunting, and then I'm going to go over it with ink. So you can pause the video and follow along if you like. So I chose like a basic angle to make it a little bit easier. This is with the dome face on and then two minarets in the background. What you'll need is some watercolor paper, a pencil, rubber, an ink pen. I'm using my Sailor Fude ink pen with platinum carbon ink, but honestly, even a ballpoint is fine. And then after that, I will be going over it with some watercolors. So some paint, a brush, and some water to mix it with. So you can see I'm being quite loose with the ink work. I'm starting with the biggest shapes first and then going in with detail later. And I'm not too worried about making it perfect. I like the wonky loose look. I feel like it adds a lot of personality to it. So try not to stress. I feel like as long as you get the basic shapes and proportions right, the rest of it, you can just put it down to imagination. So here's the basic shapes. And then now I'm going in with a little bit more detail. And I'm sorry that the camera is not focusing clearly. I am fairly new to recording videos, so hopefully with time I can improve. Just putting in the details. Again, I'm trying not to get bogged down too much into the details, so just the general impressions. As long as you kind of understand what's going on, I feel like my purpose has been achieved. So just some windows and then some curves for the minarets. I found a reference photo on Google that I liked, and there's a lot of intricate details in such stunning architecture. It's very easy to get lost into all of it. So that's why I decided to simplify it. That's the minarets done. And now I'm adding the detailing to the dome. This pen, it's a fountain pen, and I'm using it upside down quite a lot because it provides a thinner line. It's got a Fude nib, so the different angles give you different line variations. If I use it back to front, it's a thinner line, and if I turn it around and use it towards the front, it gives a much more thicker line. I like using it because of the line variation. It gives a much more looser, quirkier look. But as I said, you can use whatever you want. It's really, really not that specific. As long as you're enjoying the process, that's what matters. Now I'm just making it look a little bit more 3D. And that's the basic outline. Now I'm just adding some shading. Again, I want to make it look less 2D. I want to make it stand out a little bit more. I want to keep most of the shadows on the right hand side. So you can see I'm just darkening up the right hand side a little bit more. Adding the shadows and the highlights in a sketch really makes all the difference. So there you have it. That's the basic ink sketch. Now I'm rubbing out the pencil mark underneath. You can just go in with ink if you're brave enough, but I decided to put the lines down in pencil first. And then for the colors, I'm using a lush green. Then I'm mixing it with some burnt sienna to make it darker. This is some yellow ochre. This is yellow ochre mixed with burnt sienna, cerulean blue for the sky. And then, sorry, for the first one, I said lush green, but I think the actual color is viridian green or hooker's green. And then I'm just wetting the background first for the sky. I'm going to do wet into wet and adding the cerulean blue. And I'm trying not to overwork it, just be really loose. And you can see it automatically just kind of looks like the sky. So where it's slightly lighter in between, it looks like the clouds. Then I'm going to darken it up slightly just because watercolor, it does dry a little bit lighter. So if you want your colors to pop and be a bit more saturated, then you do have to work in layers. And that is my background done. Make sure that this is completely dry before you go in with painting the rest of it, because if the watercolors are still wet, it's going to bleed in and the colors are going to mix together. Here, I've just dried my brush and I'm sweeping over it again just to clear up some paint to make it look like clouds. So once the background is completely dry, I've added some yellow ochre just where the highlights are. Just want to make it look like the sun's hitting it on the left side of the dome. Then I'm going in with my Viridian Green, which is the main color of the dome. And then if you make a mistake, try not to stress, just get a dry brush, and whilst the paint is still wet, you can just wipe it off. So mistakes are inevitable, don't worry. I know it's very easy to stress when you feel like the painting's not going well, but often you find you just keep going and it does come together at the end. And even if it doesn't, it's still a learning experience. The more you practice, the better you get. And then just keep working at it, filling it in. I want to leave some areas white to make it look more 3D. It really makes everything pop. So the right side of the dome is going to be a lot darker because, like I said, I wanted my shadows to be on the right. And I'm just keep on adding a darker green, using less water to layer the paints. Again, I really am sorry about the camera not focusing. And then I'm lifting some paints off in areas where I want it to be lighter. And now I'm doing the minarets with yellow ochre, putting the base color down first. And like I said, you don't have to be too perfect. It adds character. And then I'm doing the bottom wall as well in the yellow ochre color and the top of the dome. And then this area is white, but I just want to add a little bit of loose detailing, just some gray for kind of like a shadowy effect. I don't want to go into too much detail here. And again, once this is completely dry, I've gone in with a darker green. And then here again, wiping off my mistake. And honestly, like I said, these shadows make all the difference. It really makes it stand out. If you just do a flat wash of green for the dome, it's still fine, but it's going to look more 2D. And then again, more shadows on the right-hand side, just darkening it up. And then when the minarets are dried, I'm going in with the yellow ochre mixed with burnt sienna, and I'm darkening up the right-hand sides. You just have to wait for the first layer to dry first, otherwise it all mixes up and comes a bit muddy. And then once that layer is dry, I'm darkening it up again, and you can see they're just popping a little bit nicely now. And keep on working at it, darkening up the edges. It's hard to know when to stop sometimes, but I'm just working at it till I'm happy with it. And once this is all completely dry, I'm going in again with my black ink pen, just adding the details, bringing them back in. Sometimes the watercolors can wash them out. So yeah, you don't have to do this part. Just keep working at it till you're happy. Sometimes even if you walk away from the painting, come back after a few minutes, you get to see it with fresh eyes. Then you might be like, oh, actually, it's better than I thought, and I think I'm done. Yeah, I'm just darkening up again towards the right hand side. And then here I decided just to make it pop a little bit more, I'm going to add some more detailing on the wall using the thicker side of my ink pen, and I feel like it really pulls the painting together. It frames it nicely. And then you don't have to do this part either, but I go in with a white Posca pen. You can use a white gel pen too, just to add a little bit of highlights. It's just a nice bit of detailing at the end to finish off with. You have to make sure that the painting is dry first. And there you have it. Thank you so much for watching. I hope you enjoyed the video, and I will be back for more.